I'm Kale Walters.
And I'm Steve Rudzinski.
Welcome to Spoke TV,
your source for local and campus news.
Nelson Mandela's life is being honored later this week at a funeral that is expected to be one of the largest in modern times. Kelly Burns tells us how Kitchener is remembering the heroic icon.
The world lost a hero last Thursday. Nelson Mandela died at his home at the age of 95. Nelson Mandela was the first South African black president and was also the first president in South Africa to be elected in a democracy. Professor Carol Ann Weaver was in Africa during apartheid and after, and shares the impact the former South African president has on the country.
He is the one person that unifies that country. One would not find a single person who wouldn't find him the biggest hero in their lifetime, as far as I know, in South Africa. He's enabled people to live together, the blacks and the whites, in a way that probably wouldn't have happened without him. He forged this way forged a way of reconciliation, not to mention just the idea that the man instills. So I wish so badly I could be there right now, because I just know that the streets would be full of this euphoria yet.
Many cities have set up a public book of condolences where you can sign, and the book will be brought to Africa. Yvonne Fernandez is a Kitchener City Councillor and shares what Kitchener is doing to honor Mandela.
So we've decided to fly all the flags half-mast this week, as well as we've set aside an area with a condolence book so that the public can come and sign and make their comments.
He unified Africa, and in his death, he unified the world. For Spoke TV, I'm Kelly Burns.
Canadian astronaut Chris Hadfield is coming to teach at the University of Waterloo. With more on the newest addition to Waterloo's faculty, here's Candace Cobbing.
He's the world's most famous astronaut and first Canadian commander of the International Space Station. Chris Hadfield now has a new title under his belt, University Professor. Lucky students started packing in to be part of his first official lecture, while Hadfield briefly spoke to the press about what he hopes to bring to what he calls a world-class university.
So I'm hoping to learn a lot as a professor here. It would also be a great time to catalog my own practical experience and put it back into the context of the theoretical side that got me there. I'm looking forward to that.
Students are also excited, and not just those in aviation study. Raul Mehta tells us what it means to the university to be gaining this high-profile professor.
I think to have Mr. Hadfield here at University of Waterloo, like he said, there's a lot of challenges that we can learn from, looking kind of from the outside in. So looking from space, I think it's a unique perspective he can provide to the campus. He's also bringing a lot of education to a program that's a bit underrepresented here, so aviation. I'd never even heard of it until I heard that Commander Hadfield was coming.
Hadfield then took students on a trip around the world, letting them see firsthand his most famous mission before being given his first task, honorary captain of the university men's hockey team. And after his first official lecture as a professor at the University of Waterloo, the man who made David Bowie's A Space Oddity a reality retreated to Haggie Hall for the signing of his new book, An Astronaut's Guide to Life on Earth. For Spoke TV, I'm Candace Cobbing.
Sad news out of the University of Guelph as one of their students attempted suicide in his residence room last week. He has been released from hospital and his condition is stable. Richard Keast has more on the harrowing incident.
Every year, many students face troubling mental health issues, including depression and thoughts of suicide. However, this issue has entered a new realm.
At the University of Guelph residence, the campus is shaken by the news that a student attempted suicide and streamed the incident online.
A 20-year-old student took some unknown pills and lit his room on fire while he laid underneath the bed. He let the video play live to 200 people, many of which were egging him on and encouraging his attempt at suicide. A former Don at the
University of Guelph
residence, Claudia Dirksen, explains this incident is new territory for the school.
This is one of the first times that this has happened here at Guelph, so it's like pretty new for everyone, and I don't know if they know how to deal with it. But the faculty's been pretty good. Like they sent out an email telling people what's been going on and keeping everyone informed.
According to a national study, suicide is the second leading cause of death for college students, and about 10% of students surveyed have considered suicide.
Stresses at home, stresses of living off campus, on campus. Any of those or accumulation of those all can add to a person's stress level.
Mental health issues often come with a negative stigma, and sometimes even ridicule. But incidents like the one at University of Guelph can promote awareness.
After it happened, people just started talking more about mental health and how we should recognize it and be aware of it.
For Spoke TV, I'm Richard Keast.
Social networking has given rise to students voicing their campus concerns anonymously. Spotted at Conestoga is one of these outlets. John Morris has more.
You have probably heard about it walking through the halls, through a friend, or by simply standing in the Timmy's line. Spotted at Conestoga, the new social media page that has grabbed our school by the scruff of the neck and won't let go. Spotted at pages are becoming ever more popular at schools across the province as they allow people to anonymously post comments for the rest of the student body to see. Conestoga College's Paula Barrett, program coordinator of the Public Relations program, thinks the page might be a good thing.
I think the page is a positive thing within the community, so that people within that community have less isolation, they have a sense of shared experience. So for the people participating in the page or looking at the page, I think for the most part it's a positive experience.
The page was created for better and not for worse, according to the administrator. It was actually created to bring students together.
It was to connect Conestoga students from all different campuses, because we as a school are very diverse in our geographic locations, and we need them all to come together in one.
And most students are quite entertained. Even though the Spotted administrator created the page to build school spirit, some students, like Spencer Curry, believe many posts are childish.
The majority of the posts are just guys that want to talk to a chick like they see in the school, and they could just go up and talk to them.
When asked about the childish posts, Spotted replied,
I would like to see them do a better job.
The administrator might be onto something. According to Facebook stats, Spotted at Laurier and Carleton University run with about 850 to 1,950 people talking about them respectively. Our Spotted at Conestoga page runs at 2,500 people talking about it. John Morris, Spoke TV.
In recent years, e-commerce sites like eBay and Amazon have received a lot of traffic, with more shoppers opting to go online rather than out to the stores. Amazon has found a new way to keep ahead of the competition. So the world may not be as scientifically advanced as sci-fi movies predicted, but online shopping just got a lot more advanced. Online retail giant Amazon recently announced that they would be using drones to deliver packages within the next 5 years. And if all goes well, urban areas could see a lot of these little guys flying around. They are electric powered and can travel up to 10 miles from the point of origin. The goal of this new drone project is to deliver consumers their mail quicker, with deliveries as fast as 30 minutes.
The 17th annual Christkindl celebrations are continuing this year in downtown Kitchener. Sarah Schilling takes us to the festivities.
The Christkindl Market was back at Kitchener City Hall for its 17th year, and hundreds gathered for food, friends, and fun. Organizer Astrid Braun says why this event is important to German traditions and the Christmas season.
Of course, it was built on that age-old tradition to have that special day or several days or a month, as it were, overseas, where people come together and trade their wares and just have a good time and eat and enjoy each other's company.
The authentic German Christmas market features over 70 vendors, music, and a live nativity scene.
The first market originated in Munich in 1310. It gave farmers the opportunity to sell their goods as well as do some shopping of their own.
Woodworks owner Peter Gordon has been selling his cars at the market for 7 years and explains what he loves about this event.
And of course, with toys, it's for the young people, but I have adult toy collectors, and it's a mindset for all the older folk because they grew up with wooden toys. So whether or not they buy, it doesn't really matter. It's a smile on their face that's really appreciated.
With homemade treats, jewelry, toys, and much more, the Christkindl Market has something for everyone during the busy holiday season.
For Spoke TV, I'm Sarah Schilling.
And that's not all Kitchener has set up for the holiday season. Victoria Park has been decorated in lights for Christmas fantasy. Kristen Van Eck shines a light on the subject.
With a chill in the air and the holiday season just around the corner, downtown Kitchener comes alive. We're here at Christmas Fantasy in beautiful Victoria Park, where many are enjoying A nice stroll with some beautiful lights. Although Jack Frost is nipping, that hasn't stopped people from taking in the scenery. Amos Barato, who walks his dog twice daily through Victoria Park, has mixed feelings about this year's decorations.
I appreciate the lights. They're not very well done this year. They kind of threw stuff into trees as opposed to other years where they've actually wrapped and done things nicely. It seems sort of like they didn't really care or didn't have enough time this year. But it's nice. It lights up. It's something to see. It makes it a little bit easier to see when we're walking. So that's always a good thing.
But many are still enjoying the holiday lights. There's even horse-drawn carriages that take Christmas fantasy goers around the downtown area. Bob Veach, who drives one of the carriages, explains what types of people come to enjoy the ride.
There's all kinds of people, families, young people, seniors, and lots of them bring food for the food bank, so they're just out for a good time.
This winter wonderland is open for friends and families of all ages from now through New Year's Day. For Spoke TV, I'm Kristen Van Eck.
Kitchener councillors recently unveiled an idea to have Canada's Prime Ministers honoured with building 22 statues in Victoria Park. Kitchener's Victoria Park may be getting some new additions in the near future. The city has drawn up plans to have 22 life-size statues of Canada's Prime Ministers placed along the path throughout the park. The statues would be part of an official city project celebrating Canada's 150th anniversary in 2017. A number of stakeholders, including Heritage Kitchener, the Victoria Park Working Group, and Neighbourhood Association, will be consulted about the project. While no decisions have been finalized yet, city councillors will be asking the public to weigh in on the idea.
Most families think about adopting kittens and puppies during the holiday season. But what about a donkey? Caitlin McKenzie Keys takes us to the Donkey Sanctuary in Puslinch for a look at these furry friends.
This Christmas, instead of buying toys, how about sponsoring a donkey in need? This is Summer, one of 60 donkeys that call the Donkey Sanctuary of Canada their home. They're usually at a full capacity and have a wait list. There is a high demand for the Donkey Sanctuary. Some people just find themselves in over their heads while taking care of these equines, but often the sanctuary sees donkeys that are in horrible physical condition due to neglect. This facility provides a forever home for the donkeys and welcomes families to visit and get to know them. Julia Craxford has been to the sanctuary 3 times already. She explains why she loves it so much.
And they're always so friendly, and I like seeing them because I think they're in well hands, and I just like seeing them.
The visitors and volunteers often find emotional bonds with the donkeys. Longtime volunteer Terry Morris explains what first brought her to the sanctuary.
And I had a little girl with cerebral palsy, and she had a very easily triggered startle reflex, meaning if there's a noise, she would startle and usually fall down. We were down in the barn brushing donkeys. Something startled her, down she went. 2 beautiful little donkeys just very, very quietly walked over to this little girl and stood behind her. That startled her. She fell into them, but they held her up. They followed her all over the farm that day, up the laneway, into the barn, and always stopped behind her, and she never hit the ground again.
If you're interested in sponsoring a furry friend, visit www.thedonkeysanctuary.ca. For Spoke TV, I'm Caitlin McKenzie Keys.
Every mother is concerned about the well-being of her baby and wants the best for her little one. Heather Mighton explores what expectant mothers can do to give their child a head start.
There is no exact way to ensure your baby is the next Albert Einstein, but lacing up your runners and heading to the gym may be the best place to start. A recent study out of the University of Montreal explains that mothers who work out for as little as 20 minutes 3 times a week can aid in the development of their baby's brain. Expectant mother Samantha Oliver adapted her fitness routine when she found out she was expecting, but takes peace of mind knowing that she is helping her little one from the start.
So it's exciting to know that like something that I already incorporate into my life is now helping my kid as well. So I thought it was really exciting and kind of encourages me to continue.
Moderation is essential to staying active while pregnant.
Knowing your body and understanding your limits are the keys to success.
Pre- and postnatal fitness instructor Andrea Ryan shares her expert advice for mums-to-be.
Take it easy, take it one day at a time, don't push yourself, it's not a race. And make sure that if you're doing it, that you know exactly what you should and shouldn't be doing. And if you're going to get a trainer, get somebody who's certified to specifically teach pre- and postnatal fitness.
Mother of one, Natalie Bai, explains working out isn't always easy, but the key is to stick with it.
I had a lot of morning sicknesses, but after the first 3 months, I'd say it got easier.
When it comes to exercising during pregnancy, it is clear that both mommy and baby share the benefits.
For Spoke TV, I'm Heather Mighton.
That's all this week. I'm Kale Walters.
And I'm Steve Rudzinski. For more news and information, check out spokeonline.com.